Hello again, you're locked in with Ralph on Reprezent Radio. We kicked off tonight with a sort of UKG-inspired, sultry kind of vibes to emulate my guest this evening. He's been making waves at the moment since his debut EP came out but a few weeks ago. Mr. Nate Brazier, welcome to Reprezent Radio. Welcome to the studio. How are you doing? How's it been since YSK
I'm good. Thank you for having me. I'm so glad to be here. Represent. Woo! Yeah, I was loving the mix as well, the garage mix as well.
Thanks,
I had it in my headphones on the way here. Yeah, it's gone really quick. What's it been now? Like week and a half, 2 weeks?
2 weeks tomorrow.
2 weeks tomorrow, yeah. It's gone so quickly. It's honestly been like the longest time coming as well. Like with these tracks, like the last year has been like pretty like steady working towards it, but like some of them I wrote like years ago, like 16 or something. Inertia, YSK itself, like they've just they've been sitting on my desktop for too long, and I'm just feels good to have them out, you know.
Yeah, good. Yeah, that's really good. It's interesting that you talk about that sort of longevity there, because you know, as more conventional electronic albums, they tend to come in a bit more quick succession, whereas Patterns came out last year around April, May, like Inertia. So how do you feel about like the development of your sonics and your style in the last sort of few years? Like,
I guess like for me the songs like always come first, and I think like that is so important to me, that lyrics, that melody can like stand up alone, and then like the production, as much as like it's my world and I love it, has to be something like almost separate to that. And like a lot of the songs go through so many different versions, which is another reason why it takes so long for them to come out, and it's such like a long rollout, I guess, is that the production is kind of always like secondary to the songs. Like I always want there to be songs like at the core of it. But I guess they were written, some of them were like the first songs that I've written, up to like the last one I wrote was Untold actually, which was like quite recent. But I guess it is a bit of a process, and I've almost changed over the writing of the EP, and I think that's quite a good thing. I've never been like a go in, write a song, come out kind of guy. It has to be a long process, I think, for it to be good. You know?
Yeah, absolutely, brilliant. There's something very London about the kind of feels to your music. I mean, first of all, in your imagery and your visuals that especially has accompanied the EP. Loved all the work that I believe it's Aaron Asham did, directing for the music video.
Amazing, yeah.
For those that don't know, Aaron is part of the visual imprint of the UK rapper Saint, and I really felt like it went hand in hand with the sort of kind of vibe of your music that you're trying to emulate. What was the process around shooting that kind of stuff? Did you sort of come to him with your ideas, or did he bring stuff in? Like,
I think there was a bit of both. I mean, like I think with like a first project, it's kind of like it's your first statement to the world of like who you are, and so I wanted to get that right, and so it made sense that we wanted to do like this visual EP so that you couldn't really like mistake where I was coming from and what the vision was. And then kind of when I came to Aaron with that, he just got it like immediately. I love like every other video he's made. And so when my team were like, who do you want to work with? He was like the first guy on the list.
Really? Great.
And he just got it instantly, which is great. It was a process, so it took a while to like get the visuals just as I wanted them, but I'm so happy with them. And as you say, London kind of like just emulates from them, and that was important because, as you say, it's in the music as well. It feels very like close to home in that way. I wanted to touch on that a little bit more, if about the sort of kind of visual ideas that you have there. If at what point, what did the pandemic do to you in terms of like creativity and kind of trying to show off? Because it's certainly, the kind of stuff you put out is very much, friends and going out and motives and like being together, and it calls for that sort of like, I don't know, rejoicing with one another, which I wonder if it's like, very much after the pandemic. Like, yeah, totally. I mean, I was like very privileged that the pandemic was like a great time of like writing and creativity for me, and I had a break from like the rest of life's kind of pressures. But I guess like a real like core theme for the EP is just like being around my friends when I was like growing up, and I think pandemic I was like 17 turning 18, and it became like this really like important time to me, and I look back on it like so fondly, of just kind of like going out with friends while the world was like shut down, obviously when it was legal or whatever, but and just creating like some really amazing like memories with just us and kind of almost without the rest of the world watching. I think like a lot of the themes on the EP are to do with that kind of like adolescent world that I was in at the time of writing, where kind of like your friends are your world and you're very much immersed in this little bubble while you're kind of like growing up and all of that coming of age stuff, I guess.
Yeah, beautiful. I mean, I love it. To go back to YSK, first of all, I've got a question. Is it an acronym for anything?
It is.
It is, okay. Are we allowed to hear?
Well, you should know already. Know. That's the thing.
That's okay. The thing. Yeah.
You should know, yeah. It's for You Should Know from the title track. Yeah, we wanted to keep it subtle, I guess, but it's not that subtle. But yeah, it's that title track is very much kind of like tying into all the themes of like when you're in the clique or in the friendship group, like you should already know. And it's about, you know, truths held between friends, holding your friends' views as gospel, all that kind of stuff. So like you should know, being in the know, if you know, you know, it's very much like came hand in hand with the EP, I think. Yeah.
Lovely. Now, I obviously know your discography, and you obviously know your discography, and there are a lot of people that do, but I feel like for maybe listeners who haven't perhaps heard your music, that we should definitely put one out there so that people can understand your vibe. So I'm going to put on Untold.
Sweet.
That was Untold by Nate Brazier, my guest here with me tonight. You're locked in with Ralph on Reprezent Radio. Nate, creative processes. We've spoken about sort of iterations, but yeah, what's your sort of what influences you? What are you listening to? What goes into it?
I guess kind of like for me, melody needs to be like instant. I think if you think too much about melody, then it's usually not that good. But then lyrics are where you can like take the time, I guess. So with any song, it usually starts with some kind of melody or maybe like a lyrical concept, like idea. Then I like go and hone the lyrical ideas and make some kind of like wonky demo that has like the basis of a track. And then like I've got a few producers and collaborators that I can trust that I go in with. We take it up a notch and hopefully make it a little bit better. And then what's important to me is that I come away from the session and like make it mine again. It has to still feel like mine for it to come out. And in that way I'm a bit of like a magpie. Sometimes it'll go to like multiple producers and stuff. And all of that. But yeah, that's kind of the process, I guess. It just it has to feel like it's still mine at the end of the day.
Yeah.
You know?
Speaking of producers and that trusted list, obviously at the YSK release party you had Parallel supporting, and I've seen a couple pictures on Instagram of you two in the studio. Is he part of that circle? Is there anything coming up together? Or?
He is, yeah. I'm so excited that we've got a remix package of the EP on its way. That's an exclusive, Reprezent exclusive. Woo!
Very, very cool. There we go.
Yeah, and Gio's got one of the remixes for Evening Shift actually, which I'm super excited about.
Amazing.
Got a few other names on there. Maybe I'll
keep that.
Maybe I'll keep that quiet for now. Yeah. But yeah, he's amazing to work with, and he's obviously like great that he's like taking me under his wing a little bit and showing me the ropes of like the UK underground scene. Really, he's been around for like a while, so I'm just grateful that he's kind of like taken me on a little bit, which is nice. Yeah, absolutely.
And on that topic of producers, are there any people that you've got on your radar that you're looking at, that you're communicating with, that you can say? Obviously, you don't have to say, but,
top secret. There's always so many. I'm a big fan of Mac Weather. Do you know Mac Weather?
I don't think I do know Mac Weather.
He's again been on the UK scene for a while, but I really want to get in with him. Hopefully, do some stuff. Other producers, I mean, I've got like a long list of like artists that I want to work with one day. Just like I'd love to have like Shy Girl on a track. I feel like that'd be sick.
Yeah, that'd be amazing.
All time, like probably like FKA Twigs as well. She's actually a big inspiration for me.
Really?
Who else? Yeah, like Sega Bodega, he's a great producer. All those kind of experimental people as well, like Arca and AG Cook and all of them. Eventually we'll be in the stew cooking up bangers.
Yeah, well, I can't wait. To go back to the release party, how was that? Was that your first time performing under Nate Brazier?
It was.
How was it?
It was mad. It was great to see you there as well.
Yeah, I loved it, man. I loved it.
You had a good time.
Amazing place, amazing vibes. It was nice to feel your energy there.
It was so weird. Like first time doing any of my music live. It was kind of a blur, but I was just having such a great time. I was vibing the whole time, so it went really quickly. And I think we kind of achieved what we set out to do, which was to like create this house party environment and make a space where friends and soon to be friends could like come together and not feel like they're sort of like in public in a way, but they're in a kind of enclosed house party. And that was always like the vibe we were going for. And I think we got there in the end. Like the venue had like some sick views over East London, and it just, everyone was very like open and free and just moving a lot, which was like the most important thing. Yeah,
it was a really nice vibe. I really enjoyed it, and good to just sort of, see your circle, who you move with, that kind of like everyone to be there. It was special. Talking of the future, Clash Magazine put you down as their 2023 artist on the cusp of greatness. First of all, big congrats. That's amazing. Secondly, what is 2023 going to bring you, Nate Brazier? What's anything that you can reveal right now, or?
I mean, hopefully a lot more music. No, definitely a lot. Not hopefully. I'm the one in control here. Yeah, definitely a lot more music. So we've got like the remix package coming imminently. We're going to do one a week actually, starting in a couple of weeks.
Very cool. I'll keep my
eye. I'll give you all the early tips.
Yeah, please do.
And then new music on its way, some bangers, if I can get the samples cleared. Honestly, a lot of sample heavy stuff, so let's cross our fingers, pray to the sample gods that someone will clear them. But I'm really excited. There's some stuff more like R&B and hip hop leaning, and like this guest mix that I've got for you is a little bit of everything today. Like it's a little bit of garage, a little bit of jungle, a little bit of like R&B, hip hop. Yeah.
I was gonna say exactly that. What? I mean, I've listened to it already, but any teasers of you in there, or?
There's a little bit of me. There's a little bit of just like everything. It's very like London centric as well.
Yes, I noticed.
We've just got like everything from drill to like alternative R&B to D&B. It's it was really fun to make. I was having a great time making it.
Good, groovy. Well, Nate Brazier, it's been lovely having you here on the airwaves. I'm very excited to see where 2023 goes for you. I'm sure the listeners are excited, and good luck with all of that. I think we're going to jump into the guest mix now. You've been locked in with Ralph, with Nate Brazier. It's been wonderful. Stay tuned for an amazing guest mix now, and see you in a month. Final words?
Thank you guys for listening. Stay tuned. Big things coming. We've had enough. Leaving traces of us, so we go. Where we felt most at home.